Hello, my name is Martin. Welcome to my channel. Today we are going to talk about factions, and as you can see I have a big country now, a big empire. It's called the Flemish Empire, and I control all the Catholic kingdoms from England down to Sicily, and all of that is because I know how to handle factions. If you see my empire, I directly control 6 kingdoms. And I have as vassals about 15 more kingdoms and an immense number of dukes. So it's all about dealing with factions, dealing with people. I'm going to teach you all I learned in this game to achieve this. So tip number 1 is related to preventing a faction from even forming up, and for that you need content people and avoid ambitious. If you check all my family members from my dynasty, they have this small dish of soup there. That means that they are content. It gives you nice benefits and lower its intrigue. They are great people. You cannot be ambitious and content at the same time. Ambitious usually form up factions, and content on the other side, they never join a faction. How do they get all content people in my family? Well, with the agrarian culture. The agrarian culture, despite giving some nice bonuses, it gives you also the trade content to most of the people that is from that culture. As I mentioned in the last tip, your vassals and all your family are going to be content, but you are going to be content too, and that is great because content likes content people. So take a look at the numbers. If they are content, they have an opinion of leash of +20. Also, they are not ambitious. So not only they are unlikely to revolt, they have a +20 to like you. You have less stress gain, and they also like other content characters, so you are going to like them more and they are going to like you more. So by just being content, you are going to have a +40 opinion of your vassals, and that is great and will make them almost impossible to join a faction. So fourth tip, and I completely forgot to add this faction tradition, I just added, as you can check it, and it's called loyal subjects, and it's self-explanatory. It's one of the hidden factors that the system uses for creating factions. If the character is a loyal subject, they do not consider religion or culture to join, so it's kind of almost impossible that a content and loyal subject is going to revolt you. But as you can see, I have formed a huge empire without using loyal subjects. That's why agrarian is so powerful. Fifth tip, another cultural tradition that I like is family business, because it not only gives nice tip to the council and members that work in the court, it also gives you a +5 opinion to the close family, but there seems to be a hidden effect that they rarely join a faction, especially the close family. You will never see them join a faction, so I give all the duchies, counties and kingdoms to my close family, and we are a very nice team. And that is very important because all your brothers have the very same claims that your heir, so they could be the biggest threat to you, and that is why a very good idea to get family business, so to prevent a revolt from your own family. So tip number 6, with the previous tip you will avoid forming a faction, but maybe you are doing the things wrong. In this case I have too many duchies, and this will increase a lot if you have more than 3. 2 is the number that you should have. 3 will make them a little bit unhappy, and 4, far worse, 5, 6, 7, they will start an immediate revolt despite having all the rest okay. So give away the extra duchies and just keep 2. So despite all that, I still have a faction. Why is that? Because I offer vassalage. I did not conquer all of Europe. I just started offering vassalage using the chain reaction that I showed in the other video. And as you can see, I have 5 vassal members that are not from my family and they are not from my culture, so they are likely to revolt, and in that case it's okay that the faction will form up, so we are going to dissolve them and we are going to imprison them all and give the titles to our family or people in our culture. Before destroying the faction, you need to weaken it. So we are going to see the different options you have. One of the basics options is you give independence. Down here you grant independence. That is useful in what case I had a vassal that was in South Africa in this game actually, and I didn't want to fight a war there, so I grant independence to him. The faction will be smaller, so you destroy the faction, you imprison, and you give the titles to more loyal people in your family or your culture, and then you can go again and annex the disloyal vassals in South Africa and keep going. Another way to weaken a revolt is by marriage. You can arrange a marriage with one of your kids or important family member. Let's see this one. And with this girl we can offer marriage. Once he accepts, he's out of the revolt, and sometimes you can even marry matrilineal or some other way, the direct or even the main character, and you get the kingdom without a fight. Another way to dissolve a faction is by assigning a superior. For example, if they are dukes, you could grant a king the vassal. If they are counts, you can grant you can grant them as vassal to a duke. And let's see how this works. You pick one of your vassals. Let's see, you trust this one, and you offer grand vassal, and you pick one of the disloyal vassals, but they should be under the rank. If this guy is a duke, they should be counts. If this guy is a king, they should be dukes. And you pick from the list the disloyal subjects and you transfer the problem to him. In this faction we have the Duke of Cyprus and also the Queen of Malta. So we are going to grant the Duke to the Queen, and it's going to be her problem and not my problem. So we go to her, right click, grant vassal, and we offer the problematic Duke to her, and let's see how it's going on. The Duke is not anymore there, and we have just 4 instead of 5. We have another Duke there from Crete, so we are going to grant him to her, and they are going to be just 3 rebels. Well, after the granting the second level, the second disloyal Duke to the Queen, she's not more unhappy. Once you weaken the faction enough, the faction will start fading and will slowly disappear. But that's not what we want. We want to imprison them. Unfortunately, no one of them is criminal. If we have a criminal, it's much easier because you just imprison, and only the 2 will fight to protect him. But we are going to go back in time and we are going to send them all a jail at once. Well, after all of that, you need to go to war to replace the bad apples with good ones. In this case, we are going to go the hard way. We are going to try to imprison one of them, the weakest of them, that is the lady on the island, the queen. She's located there, so I mobilize my army and it's all in the island, ready for the rest. And we are going to grab all her lands at once. And despite they have very strong allies, they are not going to reach on time, and once we capture the ringleader, the revolt will be over. When we prepare a delicate operation, we have the army at the door of her house in the island of Crete. She has only 2 counties, and the idea is to attack the weakest of the enemies first, so she is converted into the ringleader, and once we capture her, the revolt is over. So we order to imprison her, and all the factions will be trying to protect her, but she's the ringleader, so we are going to destroy her army, we cut her retreat, and we go for the capital, and we keep chasing the army, and the war is over. We are going to enforce the demand, and let's see now. We have all the ringleaders in jail, and we are going to replace all these people with characters from our family that are going to have the patient trait.